It sounds like, Anula, you've got quite a strong like internal compass. So how you described that you kind of just trusted your gut almost in saying to your friend, you know, can I come teach at your studio? Let's just see what happens. Because it felt good, because it felt right.
Yeah.
You think that's true? Like you trust?
I think that's the only thing to really do, you know, is to try and listen to what it is that you think you want and then try it and see if it fits, right? Like there's a lot of risk taking involved when you go and try something you've never tried before, right? So you could potentially say like, hey, like like this risk doesn't sound worth the effort. Or you could say, I'm going to try this and maybe I'm going to fail miserably. Which is, like I kind of gave it a 50-50 chance. like there's a really huge chance that like this is not a good idea. And to sort of know that it's okay to fail is really helpful in trying.
Where do you think people trip up with that? Because
oh my God, the fear of failure is paralyzing.
Yeah. How do you think people can move past it? I kind of grew up in an environment where I was really, really encouraged in a sporting context to move out of my comfort zone constantly. And I'd always have that scary feeling in my gut, but I just knew once I took the first step with lots of support and encouragement from my family, I'd just end up being better than where I was previously. But lots of people haven't grown up with that kind of environmental support, and they find it difficult to go after what they really want, and they find it difficult to accept fear as a part of moving forward. And as
I don't think a lot of people believe in their own talent. So there's a sense of like there needs to be a little bit of I want to say the word is like belief that you have something to offer. And I'm not sure that a lot of people are convinced that they do. Right? So they hide or make themselves small. And not everybody, like not everybody is an attention seeker and not everybody is an extrovert. So like there's all kinds of gradations of kind of person. But if somebody's looking to, I don't know, whatever their dreams are, right? And they're afraid of failing is probably going to hold them back the most, right? Then the only way to get over it is to fail a few times and realize that
it wasn't that bad.
The world. And I think in sports and in the arts, it's the same. It's like not every piece you're going to make or not every sporting event is going to be the best one that you've ever, attended or attempted, right? And maybe that's okay.
Yeah. And I think, we're always like our own worst critic, just reframing it when it's like when you go to teach a class and it just didn't kind of flow and it was a bit clunky. Yeah. Like I look at my daughter, if she like runs and then falls over, she just gets up and keeps going. She doesn't think about how shit she was for falling over.
Right. Well,
if we could just keep being kinder to ourselves in that way, that helps.
People define themselves, I think, more by their failures than by their successes. So it's easier to remember a criticism than it is to remember a compliment.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And when you're operating on that sort of survival level, then it's hard to get back up because all you're remembering is falling, but you don't remember like the 10 times you know, were able to like walk across the room successfully. Right? So I look at kids a lot, and like they fall, and sometimes they cry, and they fall, and they sometimes forget 5 seconds later that happened. And you know, there's lots of trial and error as a child.
Yeah.
And I think as an adult, we're not really expected to be trying anymore. We're supposed to just like succeed at everything, or hide our mistakes, or feel shame about mistakes. There's no room for exploration, or being wrong is like, I mean, that's the worst. It's like, you were wrong.
Yeah. the self-judgment, the comparisons, the like the measuring yourself up against your like peers and your mentors, it can just it can just build momentum, and you know, it just robs you of the joy of what you're doing. It really does.
It's exhausting.
It's so exhausting, and you just don't have energy for yourself or energy to give, and it soon leads to burnout. But I think what people don't realize, to get out of that kind of cycle, it takes a lot of inner work and uncomfortableness. Like, you have to go to those spaces where you feel uncomfortable and ask yourself good questions, so you can work yourself out of there and build momentum that's more positive.
Yeah, I think that, you know, there's a type of personality that thrives under like working from a place of fear, or working from a place of testing boundaries, or working from a place of wanting to look for like I would say provocative, right? So like, there's something really rewarding or interesting to me to work from a place of like, I'm really scared of what I'm about to do, and not is the work. Like, either I'm scared physically about what I'm about to do, I'm scared emotionally, I'm scared that it's going to be received poorly, I'm going to be scared that I'm going to fall, right? And then that's sort of the interesting part of the project, because if I knew that everything was going to go smoothly and well, then I don't know what the catalyst to keep going would be.
Yeah, it would just be quite boring.
Quite boring.
Yeah.